New information tonight in connection to the deadly crash that killed 2 Pennsylvania state troopers and another person. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
And I'm Jason Martinez. Sources say cameras close to the scene are providing a clear recording of that deadly crash. Jenny, what can you tell us?
Good evening, guys. Well, as the investigation moved forward, new details uncovered. And today, we spent the day trying to reach Jayana Webb's attorney. We have not yet heard back. We also tried to find family members and friends. Earlier tonight, we stopped by a home in Norristown linked to the family of 21-year-old Jayana Webb.
Do you have any interest in talking with us about Jayana?
They said no and closed the door.
That was a potentially dangerous situation for that reporter, man. That's one brave reporter. When she said no, that means you got 2 seconds to get off that porch before you get attacked. So, salute to this reporter for obviously getting off that porch in 2.5 seconds.
Do you have any interest in talking with us about Jayana?
They said no and closed the door. Webb is charged with killing Pennsylvania State Police troopers Martin Mack and Brandon Siska and a pedestrian on Monday morning. Fox 29's Jeff Cole stopped by Webb's Eagleville address. No one answered. But still, we're learning more about the crash. Sources telling Fox 29's Steve Keeley cameras at Lincoln Financial Field provide a crystal clear recording of the crash. Webb is charged with homicide by vehicle while driving under the influence. Sources also tell us that Webb was stopped for speeding by troopers northbound on 95 between the Girard and Allegheny exits. Sources say a recording from the troopers' dashboard camera shows the stop lasts less than a minute as the pair is dispatched to a pedestrian walking southbound on 95 near the stadiums.
So peep the scene. She had been pulled over for speeding on the highway. The state troopers are, running their license, processing and everything, They get a call from a guy walking on the highway for a couple, like a half a mile up from the scene where they had pulled her over. They immediately leave. It's her lucky day. She hit the lotto. Sister caught a break because, it's so rough on sisters here in America. Sister caught a break. No ticket, no search of the car, no breathalyzer, no field sobriety test, none of that. You're free to go. Cops just left. Situation is over. It's almost like magic. You went from sweating and fretting to taking a big sigh of relief.
Webb is charged with homicide by vehicle while driving under the influence. Sources also tell us that Webb was stopped for speeding by troopers northbound on 95 between the Girard and Allegheny exits. Sources say a recording from the troopers' dashboard camera shows the stop lasts less than a minute as the pair is dispatched to a pedestrian walking southbound on 95 near the stadiums. According to sources, Webb also turns around and heads southbound, and that stadium cameras capture Webb in a 2014 Chevy Captiva, striking all 3 men.
It is an awful tragedy.
Earlier tonight, we asked District Attorney Larry Krasner about the case, including Webb's social media. In a since-deleted account, a Twitter page with handle @TanaeJ_ includes a tweet around the time of the crash about speeding.
So from the vehicle, while being pulled over, prior to killing the 2 cops and the pedestrian who was walking down the highway, she tweeted from the vehicle during the traffic stop, "Why the cop pulled me?" And he say, "I'm doing 110 and a 50. 4 laughing emojis. She was doing 110 and a 50. Reckless, dangerous. And she was drinking. This is her tweet before she killed him, maybe like two minutes before she killed them.
In a since deleted account, a Twitter page with handle @TanaeJ_ includes a tweet around the time of the crash about speeding.
I'm aware of some of the details about that case. Obviously, we feel that there is a solid case, which is why we've brought these charges. But that doesn't mean that we have completed all of the investigation.
Webb is being held without bail pending her next court appearance, which is scheduled for April 5th. Funeral arrangements for the troopers have not yet been set. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, Jenny.
But first, we are following some breaking news. Why a judge just threw out murder charges against a woman accused of killing 2 state troopers and another man in a crash on I-95.
This is Eyewitness News at 6, and we continue to stream live on CBS News Philly. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown, in for Jessica Cartalia. Today, Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright has been inside the courtroom all day long. She just talked to Webb's attorney, we understand. So, Madeline, what did he share with this latest news?
Well, good evening, Natasha and Yuki. Within the last hour, we have learned that the judge here at the CJC has dropped third-degree murder charges against Jayana Webb. Her defense attorney says that the Commonwealth failed to prove that his client acted with malice. But she's still facing several other serious charges, including manslaughter, homicide by vehicle, and DUI.
So the sister caught a break, man. Another break. Listen, man. Her prayer warriors must be working overtime. This sister she got some serious angels, man. She got the best luck I've seen in a while, man. This girl is literally just to be stopped like that. You're drinking, you're going 110 in a 50-mile-per-hour zone. You get stopped, and then the cops get called to another scene, and you have to leave you, and you just get to go scot-free. It's not like they take this warning. They just immediately leave and go to the other scene. Then you take that opportunity to speed down the lane, little lane where you pull over. You just go speeding down that lane, and you kill all 3 of them, the 2 cops, and the person that they were trying to get off this road. I was walking on the road. You kill all 3 of them. I mean, you go 100-something miles an hour again, immediately after being pulled over, boom, kill all 3 of them. Then you go to court, and the judge drops the murder charges. Listen, what y'all want me to do? I can't do nothing about this stuff, man. What can I do? All I can do is report it, man.
Earlier this morning, we spotted dozens of Pennsylvania State Police troopers filing into court for the much-anticipated preliminary hearing, which lasted more than 5 hours. Webb is charged in connection with the March 21st crash on I-95 South near the stadium complex in Philly that killed troopers Martin Mack and Brandon Siska, along with the pedestrian Reyes Rivera Oliveras. The prosecutor today called 9 witnesses to the stand, including a toxicologist, who testified that Webb's blood alcohol content was 0.211, more than twice the legal limit, and that he found marijuana in her system as well. Another key witness was a trooper who testified that Siska and Mack, in a tragic twist, had pulled Webb over that fateful day for driving 113 miles an hour. But the 2 quickly left to respond to another emergency, a pedestrian walking on the highway. A crash reconstruction expert testified Webb was driving 78 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone when her Chevy Captiva slammed into the 3 men, launching them over a concrete barrier. Webb's lawyer says she apologizes for her actions.
She has told me she's sorry on a number of occasions because, again, this was an accident. She would never want to kill anybody. And you heard in there, she doesn't have a criminal record. She's never been violent in her life. In fact, she was a superstar track runner in high school. She's a good girl. It's just there's some issues with some drinking.
There's some issues with some drinking. 3 men dead. I mean, she struck them and knocked them off the highway. That's one of those elevated highways. You know, when you're coming into with these big cities, and then she knocked them off of the highway. They fell like 100 feet into the ground. Just some issues with some drinking. Yeah, just some issues with some drinking. That's all this is. She's a good girl. She's a good girl who tweets from the crime scene. She tweets, how many of y'all get pulled over going 113 miles per hour in a 50 mile per hour zone, and the first thing you do is to tweet with laughing emojis about being pulled over doing 113 miles per hour in a 50. Listen, man, if that's a good person, man, things done changed, man. Things done changed, man. Good people back in my day didn't do stuff like that, but, maybe she is a good person, man, for this generation. That just, has some issues with some drinking. Other than that, other than the issues with some drinking, there's nothing much to see here.
She has told me she's sorry on a number of occasions because, again, this was an accident. She would never want to kill anybody. And you heard in there, she doesn't have a criminal record. She's never been violent in her life. In fact, she was a superstar track runner in high school. She's a good girl. It's just there's some issues with some drinking.
Webb's lawyer says that she was initially held without bail, but we've just learned that the judge has decided to give her a bail of $600,000, which, if she posts 10% of that amount, gives her the opportunity to be released from jail pending her trial. And within the last 10 minutes, we've learned that the district attorney is refiling third-degree murder charges against Webb. However, a hearing will have to be held to determine whether or not those charges will be reinstated. Live in Center City, Madeline Wright, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Madeline, thank you for the update.
But, if she was white, man. If she was white, they would have bought her some Burger King, man. They would have bought her some Burger King, man, if she was white. About time one of us. About time one of us got off. They been doing this to us for years, man. About time one of us got off. Now we know what it's like to be a glider, man. Because, if a glider did what Jayana Webb did, man, they get a free trip to Burger King and then a year's past the Sesame Place. And all the characters would give her hugs whenever they walk down the little street in the parade, man. Right?
Nearly brought to tears in an Orange County courtroom today. He listened as an orphan child described life without her parents. Then he sentenced the young woman who killed that couple in a DUI crash. KCAL 9 Orange County reporter Michelle Geely takes us inside this emotional hearing.
My name is Selena. I miss my mom and my dad. I feel sad when the accident happened.
3 Santa Ana girls, orphaned after their parents died in a drunk driving accident, stood in court holding handmade notes about their mom and dad. One by one, family members told convicted killer Grace Coleman how she has forever changed their lives.
Those beautiful girls will never have their parents from the major moments of their lives. Who is going to walk them down the aisle if they ever get married? Who is going to dance with them at their quinceañera?
The 23-year-old Newport Beach woman pleaded guilty to driving with a blood alcohol level of more than 2 times the legal limit. Officials say Grace Coleman had been at a bar and was given a ride home, but instead got into a Range Rover, ran a red light on Newport Coast Drive, and slammed into the family's car. The girls were in the backseat screaming. Gabby Andrade and Henry Saldana were killed instantly.
Her car landed in a position where she'd have to walk past that victim vehicle to start leaving the scene. And she walked past these crying girls to leave the scene.
Grace Coleman, who had a prior DUI arrest, faced a maximum of 42 years to life in prison. Judge Greg Prickett was emotional as he spoke to the victim's family before sentencing Coleman to 21 years to life.
I sense strongly that they would want you to continue to live your life with joy, to appreciate every day, to raise those precious girls. I'm sorry.
You know it's tough when the judge starts crying, man. Judge started crying, man. Thank God it wasn't no sister, man. If judge would have cried during the sister, oh, he racist. He got it out for her. How come they don't never cry when something happened to us? Well, listen, man. This glider chick got 21 years to life for killing 2 people. She killed one less than the sister. Who here thinks that the sister gonna get 21 years to life? Get in the comment section, man. Like, subscribe, donate. Peace. I'm out.